You know, ever since I was a little kid, that was a while ago, I've been fascinated with the giant freighters that sail the Great Lakes, but I never ever thought I'd have a chance to get onto one of them till now. This is the SS Valley Camp. It's a 500-foot freighter that sailed the Great Lakes for over 50 years. Up on deck, you really get the feel for what it must have been like to spend time on one of these great ships. Every detail on ship has been left exactly as it was when the ship was retired. But below deck is a completely different story. The entire cargo bay of the ship has been turned into a fascinating maritime museum with some very cool exhibits. The most notable thing on display is one of the actual lifeboats from the Edmund Fitzgerald. All hands were lost when a huge storm took it to the bottom in 1975, and standing next to this lifeboat really gives you reason to pause. Back up on deck, I had a chance to spend some time with one of Sault Ste. Marie's biggest supporters, Linda Hoth. You've been hanging out with me all day, and I really appreciate that. And I noticed, just being around you, you totally love Sault Ste. Marie. You love this city. Why do you love it so much?
I love Sault Ste. Marie. It's just one of those places that once it gets into your soul, it's there, because it's just a part of who I am.
Well, tell me a little bit about the city. I mean, we've been doing some exploring, but just what's the city all about?
Well, first of all, we're the oldest city in the Midwest.
Really?
Yeah, established in 1668. The river's the reason we're here. It's a beautiful river that's right behind us here, and it's a gorgeous city, you know, and the water means so much to the people here. The city is old and new together. I mean, we have our old historical places, but we also have the new, so it's an exciting place to be.
I heard you saying earlier that this is the busiest waterway in the world?
Yes, there's more tonnage goes through here than the Panama Canal and the Suez Canal combined.
Wow, that's amazing. Talking about some of the historic stuff here, because this is a great mix of, it's like you said, the old and the new. Tell me about some of the historic churches here are beautiful. Tell me about some of those.
Well, those historic churches have been around, you know, in the late 1800s, early 1900s were open, and they are built out of the sandstone that came out of the canal. Absolutely beautiful. When you get inside, the stained glass and some of the most beautiful oak pieces. I mean, you know, you won't find this in very many places.
And we passed by is it the city courthouse or the county?
Courthouse.
Beautiful structure.
Yes. And it's completely renovated and can still the old stone and the oak, and anybody can walk through it at any time.
When we were driving down here to see the SS Valley Camp, I noticed a building just to the right that is absolutely spectacular, and I understand your grandfather had something to do with that building?
Yes, my grandfather's an Italian immigrant that came here, and he's a stone cutter, and he actually worked on the canal and cutting the stone on the canal for the hydroelectrical plant.
You were saying it's a quarter-mile long?
Quarter-mile long. It's the longest hydroelectrical horizontal shaft hydro plant in the world.
Oh my gosh, and it's here in Sault Ste. Marie. Nice job, Grandpa.
Before heading back into town, Linda took me by something called the Tower of History. It's a 210-foot observation tower that gives you a fantastic view of the entire Soo Locks and the whole area. It was really cool to look down and see all the places I'd been that day with just one turn of my head. If you get a chance, you've got to see this. Under the Radar Michigan is brought to you in part by the Michigan State Housing Development Authority.